Okay, good morning. Good morning. Hello, my friends. Great to see you. I'm Coach Nikki. I am here in Lake Tahoe with a coach of mine, a great friend, and somebody I'm really, really excited to introduce to you. So, this is Megan.
Good morning.
So Megan has been a kayak coach for how many years now?
I think 12.
So,
Can you
I know, isn't that
12?
crazy?
Yeah.
12 years.
Yeah.
And she has been an incredible inspiration, not just to us in the kayak community, but she also leads the wellness centers and it's Wellness Connect, right?
Yeah. So I work up here in South Lake Tahoe at our community college, the Lake Tahoe Community College, and I run a program called Community Education. And we do all kinds of programs, but most recently we launched a wellness program. So I have had the privilege to work with some really great leaders in wellness here in our area. And then I've partnered with Nikki too and pulled her into our program a little bit. So it's been a really nice fit.
Yeah, it's been really so why I was so excited to introduce you to Megan is because she has a gift of results coaching and results coaching coming from the highest level of athletes all the way down into no, oh, you can't hear Megan. Can everybody else hear Megan? Yeah, okay, good. Okay.
I'll
Um,
talk louder.
yeah, I think it's okay. So Megan has a real gift of results coaching and not just coaching the actual whatever it is, running, triathlons, all the things that she personally is an expert at, but she has the skill to coach at all levels for results in weight loss and motivation in movement and in actual like results of competing. And so I think when we're talking about like this motivated to move is like why and what we want to do with our bodies with this amazing machine to get the results that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then you go ahead and jump in and just give a little background on yourself.
Sure. So Nikki was really point with just the results piece of thing. I really enjoy working with just people, and like for me just getting people to move brings me joy.
Yes.
And so Nikki's always said we're all athletes and our sport is life, and I take that and I just really mold with that because movement brings so many positive things that we're going to share, but most importantly I think one of the biggest components that movement brings is confidence. And when our bodies are strong and we're standing tall and we have posture, I'm not sure everybody can hear me.
They can.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
I'll have Deb help you, Margie. Deb, if you can jump in and help Margie, that'd be great.
And so when our bodies are moving, it really just brings an internal peace and an internal confidence. And that's what I love sharing with people.
Great. Awesome. Okay, so today, what we are learning, we're going to take 3 topics, is our bodies are meant to move. So why we want to move, the mental game, and moving for results. So really thinking about like how we can move our body to get the most out of every movement that we put forth into this world. And then we're going to talk about the components of fitness. So actually like the pieces of fitness that you'll want to bring in, or you probably already do, possibly bring into your life to have that full functioning body. Is our goal is to be able to touch the ground and touch the sky and move our body in a way that's supportive, that keeps us safe, and that also just again like makes the most out of the time that we have available for movement. Okay, so we wanted to jump into our why. So I want everybody, if you have a pen and a piece of paper, grab a pen and a piece of paper or your journal and just write down a few things that inspire you to move. Like, what is your why? So Megan, what is your like ultimate why? Why do you exercise? Why do you move?
And Nikki and I did this presentation last week, and it's really neat. So I'm really glad that you guys are taking time to journal and write this down, because as you think about it, it may change too. And it also changes, I think, over time. So maybe back in my younger years, I really was motivated to move because I wanted to be a competitive athlete and I wanted to do well and perform at a higher level. And as I'm aging gracefully, I feel like that answer changes a little bit. And
Mhm.
so currently, what motivates me to move is um, being outside,
Mhm.
being out with the trees, and it really has almost become like mental counsel is
Mhm.
my motivation to move. Also, I have a family and I have children, and I want to keep up with them, and I want to stay healthy and stay active. And so that motivates me to move. And I just know when I'm moving, I'm going to be a better wife. I'm going to be a
Yep.
better mom. I'm going to be a better employee. I'm going to be a better team member. I'm going to be a better friend. And so all of these reasons is really like not more the physical component so
Mhm.
much anymore,
Right.
although I know the benefits of that, but I love just the mental and spiritual piece that I get from movement. How
Well,
about you?
yeah, and that's so great too, because I think that exactly what you said. So maybe my personal, and if you guys just jot down, like maybe 5 years ago, what was your motivation to move, or 10 years ago? Because it was probably for me either exactly what you said, performance based. I
Mhm.
wanted to top 10 or whatever that is. Like you're always top one. She always like is the top of the podium, but I'm always like, come on, top 10. But now, and or body based. So I was like, I want to lose weight, I want to look good, I want this and this. But studies show that the more we can focus on the intrinsic benefits of exercise instead of the extrinsic. So it's not about what you win or lose, or it's not, and not to say that you can't have extrinsic goals too, but you will be more likely to show up consistently if you think about how it affects you, um, how you feel, how your body
Yeah, that's
feels,
right. How
and
you feel.
how, and then also the future benefits versus immediate benefits. So if we think in our mind, so studies show that if we think that I'm going to exercise, so then I live a long healthy life. So that's future, which is fine. But if you want to get motivated to move, think about how exercise affects you immediately. So, what is that feeling that you feel when you move your body, or when, like, right after, you have that like glow,
And that's the science,
right?
right? So that's the science piece of it, which is so fun because, in the clinical world, when you can roll science into it and show that there's actually work happening. So when you're
Mhm.
moving the chemicals that are being processed and the endorphins that you get from that, you've heard that natural high. Well, that's the science behind it. So that's what's so neat about really thinking and pausing when you're done, like, what do I love about this? I love because I feel tingly and I feel good, and that's science. That's medicine at work. That's
Yes,
medicine at
yes,
work.
yes. So we just put a couple of stats here, and I know most of us on here are pretty motivated to move, but I'm not always motivated to move. Like there's times, like especially kind of going through like COVID and being like locked down, that there's sometimes that I feel like I'm Velcro to the couch, and I know a lot of people feel that way. And if we can think about like really why are the why are we today in general more anxious, like suicides on the rise, there's less, like more divorces, so many things. And if you just look at like our bodies are meant to move. Thousands of years ago, cavemen moved 1,000 minutes a day, like 8 hours a day, and now we average like a 17-minute a day. And so really thinking about like how we want to be different, and how we want to look at and think about what, not just the exercise, because I know a lot of us do kaya and we work out every day, but how can we increase our movement through the day and be different?
Yeah.
And if you're feeling sad, like the first thing that we want to do is get outside or move or shake up, because here it's like we have 30 to 40 trillion cells in our body, and every single one of them, that the DNA inside those trillions of cells are connected to movement. So the more you move, if you feel sad, trigger yourself, I need to move. If you feel anxious, trigger yourself, I need to move. And then all of your biology
Yes.
just starts working in a positive way.
The science, right? The
Yes. Yep.
science behind it. So Nikki talked just, in the introduction, the mental game, and that is such a big piece of it. And the more you move, the stronger your mental game is.
Yes.
And so really it's about just adjusting your mindset and what is exercise to you? Is it a chore or is it a gift? And, if you really focus on, I am blessed, my body is healthy, I can move, and you view it as a gift, it really sets you up for success and it gets your mind right. And it's so important when you think about movement and exercise, do what you enjoy. Like I love to be outside and I love to be with people. And so I exercise outside with my friends and it brings me a lot of joy.
Right.
And I got up this morning at 4:45 because my running group wanted to go out early and I was like, oh, it's warm in bed and I don't want to get out in the dark, but it was outside and it was with my tribe. So do things that you love to do things that bring you joy. And then just those non-negotiable rituals, it's just what you're going to do. You just set your mind to it. You're going to make movement part of your life and it just happens. And what happens too, when you set those non-negotiable rituals, it ends up bringing you back a lot of joy because you feel really good about yourself.
Right.
And you've done it and you've
make the
accomplished
commitment.
it. You've made the commitment. And so really, those are just some of those mental pieces, just kind of flipping the switch in your mind. But really when you're moving for results, because you want to, this is the performance side of things. If you're going to be moving, do it for a purpose. And it doesn't mean all the time or the whole workout, but you can really enjoy learning how to be your own coach and getting out there. And if you're going to go for a walk, maybe you can set your watch and walk for 10 minutes and then all of a sudden do 10 little bursts when you're walking. And what we call that is high interval intense training. And what happens is it bumps your cardiovascular fitness up. It gets that blood circulating. It's transporting clean oxygen into the working muscles. It's moving out the waste. And so when you allow yourself to get a little uncomfortable when you're working out, magic is really happening. So move for results. And you don't need to just be doing it in a class. Of course, you can do it in a class, but start becoming your own coach because those are really fun tools to have. And I just think that if you can be on fire, this is the en fuego part, just be so excited. Be excited to get out.
And be there, right?
Be there.
Yeah, be there.
Be there. Be in the moment and be efficient. Love how your body moves. And, when you're walking, roll the shoulders back and open up your heart and your chest and just like own your moment.
Yes.
Like I feel really good. And
Kai's put around if you do the Kai workouts, which I think most of you do, is our programmers and our workout writers write these workouts for HIIT training purposes and for results purposes. So all you have to do is show up. So whether you're doing a live stream, whether you're doing an in studio workout, whether you're outdoors on your own, is just all you do is show up, but keep your mind right where you are. So don't worry if we're doing an interval of 1 minute, do one really good push-up. Just keep your mind and then hit it with fire. So even if you have 10 minutes of a workout, or you are 1 hour of your day is 4% of your day, but so hit that hour with intensity and keep your mind there. And so when you think about in fuego, don't think about your list of things to do. Think about how I can get the most out of my body. And a lot of times that's listening to your body. So if you're never working through pain, making sure that you're you could work through fatigue. So know the difference between those, but never work through pain. And that's something that is through the years of watching you, there's a fine line. Pain and pain
and workload
and workload.
And effort,
Yes.
And just this last point on this slide, I love so much that you are most like the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So choose your tribe and your community. And Kaya is such a beautiful example of everybody just becoming this beautiful community and having each other and creating these fitness states. And choose your tribe wisely. Make sure you have those common features. And Nikki is really right, just circling back with these specifically designed classes and really just showing up. That is
show
the
up.
best, and give it your all. Okay, I wanted to share with you just the 5 components of fitness. And again, Kaya's program and regime this is a snapshot. This is exactly what the Kaya classes offer you, but there are 5 components to it. So cardiovascular is usually the one that we all tend to. It's our heart. And we love to, we feel like when our heart rate's high and our breathing is high, that we're, getting a really great workout, which is true, and which is what you want to be doing. And you want to be doing a cardio class or getting cardio fitness 2 to 3 times a week, which is exactly what the Kaya schedule provides. And you want to be incorporating that HIIT training. And then the second component is the muscular strength and endurance. So those are our biceps, and the strength comes from the weight and the workload. So your strength training is going to be coming from adding in the weight, and then the muscular endurance is going to be the repetition. So you want to be incorporating both of those. You want to be incorporating the heavier weight and the strength training, even if it's your body weight resistance training.
Right, that still builds strong bones, like bone density. It still builds. I mean, our bodies are heavy, right? So sometimes people ask me like, wow, because, I tend to have bigger muscles, and they're like, do you lift weights? And I'm like, my own body weight.
Yes, that's right.
And sometimes I use like 5-pound, dumbbells and things like that. But really, like our body weight, as long as you're focused on it, you can really chisel your muscles and get great results.
Absolutely. Push-ups are my all-time favorite all-around exercise. It's just our own body weight. So muscular strength and muscular endurance, and probably for most of us here, we are not focused on building big muscle structure. So we want to maintain what we have, do some lightweight body weight resistance training. Bar classes are great for getting in the endurance because we've got more reps, less weight. And then flexibility training. This for me personally has really been a big growth in my fitness regime since I really became a Kaya Fit coach, because I started teaching yoga, and I really feel like this completed my circle in my fitness world, because we don't often take enough time to stretch and to move and to breathe. And so I really can't stress enough that get your yoga class in every single week. That should be your non-negotiable ritual, is to make sure that you're doing at least one yoga class a week. And there are so many benefits for flexibility training. It helps with our balance. It helps with our posture. It keeps us just supple, able to move and adapt and move our body. And
honestly, I do yoga just 1 day a week. So whether you're doing it in studio or whether you're joining us like live stream, we have it every Friday night. I'm teaching tonight at 5:00 yoga, but 1 day of yoga makes a huge difference in my body.
That's what I do. 1 day a week.
Yeah.
1 day a week. And so it's really perfect. And then that last piece is body composition. So body composition, we just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about, and there's this visual here, but it's really what is in your body. It's the ratio of fat mass, so the fat versus everything else. So such as, the muscle, the bone, the organs, and everything else in your body. So that is your body composition. So, overall, the goal is we want to have less fat mass and more of the everything else. And so this is a really great visual here, that round blob is a pound of fat. And I think Nikki said the other day, that's about the size of a cantaloupe.
Like a small cantaloupe.
So you can see how much space that's going to take up in your body versus that really lean torpedo-like muscle structure. And so I know that sometimes we get caught up with the number and we get on the scale.
Right, yes.
And this is just a really great reminder that that's not the focus, and that shouldn't be your motivator, that your motivator should be when you're exercising and things are changing in your body, your body composition is changing, that fat is going to shrink, that muscle is really lean, and your clothes are going to feel good.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about the number on the scale, because when you put on your pants, you're going to be like, oh, I feel like things are happening, and I feel like
I feel strong.
I feel strong. And so really focusing on how do you feel.
Okay, we're going into just the end. So we've got like 4 or 5 more minutes together. So as Megan was saying before, you and us, we will move more often if we really make it fun. And that's what we work really hard at Kaya, to create a great atmosphere where you feel welcome. When you come in, you're greeted, eye contact, you have music. And so what we believe is that Kaya is built around exercise, but that's just the beginning. Really, we want this to be like a whole body experience. We want it to be fun. And I know that Megan has always been such an amazing coach in getting us outdoors and getting us challenged in a way that comes out of our comfort zone. And so if you want to talk a little bit about green movement, that would be.
Yeah, so just, for me, movement means outdoors. Indoor fitness is very, very results oriented, and it's really great. But I've always I love the sun, and I love the air, and I love being out in the trees. And so really, if you think about this green movement, it's really a gift. It's really what we should be focusing on. Forest bathing is becoming so popular, and you get outside and you're connecting with the earth underneath you. But it's really exercise squared, and I love that Nikki put that in, because you're getting the exercise, but you're getting vitamin D, you're getting oxygen, you're getting energy from the trees, you're getting high results, usually a cardio class. It allows your mind to focus. You're taking a techno break. I know we get excited to have our devices with us and track our time and our mileage, but oftentimes I leave all that at home and I just go, and it's extremely rewarding for our mind. And our minds, more than ever, don't you think, right now,
yes,
more than ever, are so full, and we're trying to navigate new norms and where we're going, but just giving some space in the mind. And Nikki knows, and all the girls that I've been coaching for so long know, no ears, no music, just go and just be outside and really enjoy the green movement.
I love that, because when I first was like training with you, like on the track and training, like where things were really difficult for me, I wanted to have music in right away. I was like, oh, I can't, like, my heart, like I can't breathe. And you convinced me no music, because one, I couldn't hear you coaching. And two, I'm masking my perceived exertion. And so those two things that I've learned from you is when we're out and we're training together. So whether we're doing it I can run, or we've got opportunities to really be coached, we want to be able to hear and absorb, and then also like take a technology break.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to hear yourself breathe. I mean, our breath is a miracle.
Yes, it really,
it's really good.
And it guides us.
Yeah.
It guides us when we can push harder. It guides us when we need to pull back a little bit. It guides us to breathe deeper, to move deeper into our muscles, to not shallow breathing. And maybe we can do another Facebook Live at some point, or another time, where we talk about like the art of breathing.
Yeah, the breath. It's the breath. Learning how to breathe.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes. Okay, so we're coming to the end, and we really just wanted to leave you with this focus. And if you could just write this down, if it resonates with you, is with consistency comes change. And it's not a 6-week boot camp. It's not a diet. We eat healthy. And when we show up for our body, when we show up for our movement, then change will happen. But this is like, welcome to the rest of your life. Like, we will move, and hopefully we'll work out together, and we will still build on all of the components of results, but just show up. And that's, I think, what's the beautiful thing about like group classes, is all you have to do is show up. And then you have a coach there to like help motivate you and get you to move. But I wanted you just to kind of walk us through like what visualization looks like, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, and visualization has been a huge part of my coaching platform for forever, because it's really just, and it brings in that confidence piece, but it's just picturing who you want to be. That's like me. And so if you're going to go out and perform at whatever, whether it's at work and you have to get up and give a presentation, just visualizing who you are as you're standing up and you're speaking, it's really powerful, and your body is going to take you there, but you've got to get your mind there. And so I love what Nikki just said, that this is not a 3-week program. This isn't a 3-month program. It's not even a year program. It's a life program. And so it's practicing it all the time, even when you are an athlete like Nikki and have really big, strong muscles. Those did not come to her in a year. And so it takes time it's a plan. It's a life plan. And so visualize what you want to look like. Visualize your body composition. Visualize how you're going to walk into the gym and do your next Kaya class. Visualize your conversations with your spouse or your children, and set yourself up for success, and say to yourself, that's like me, that person that I see, that's like me.
Oh, thank you so much. So there's so many different stories that we have year after year after year of doing this, is like just knowing that wherever you are, and maybe it's that you want to reach out to someone and just offer them anything that maybe you have taken away from this, is with consistency comes change. And what do you want to do consistently, just as a habit, as a ritual, every single day, just showing up for movement, showing up just one moment at a time. Book your class, say what time you're going to go outside and move, and then just have that sense of like, I'm doing this regardless, have passion, hit things with fire, create like-minded community and support, because like Megan said, we are like the 5 people that we're around the most. And then just the more that we can do it, like not just our 1 hour, but create movement all the way through your day. And that's a challenge for me because I work a lot on the computer.
Yes. And so these past 2 slides are a colleague that I work with, and she just has a really beautiful testimony. She's 90 pounds lighter than she was 10 years ago. And I said 10 years ago. So she has committed to this consistency over 10 years. And so really her goal was to move. Her goal was to move, and her husband became very ill, and she started doing her research, and she said, what can I do to help him out? And it was a whole food, plant-based diet. And so she just shifted her life, and in turn lost 90 pounds. And so this is just a really beautiful picture of her. Talk about the passion and the fire. And she gets together every week with a group of friends who are all plant-based, and they travel around the world together from their homes, and they pick a country and they prepare whole food, plant-based food from that country, and they get together every Friday night on Zoom, and they share their food, what they're eating, with everybody else. And so it really is community, and it's support, and it's consistency. It's consistency.
Well, thank you, Megan, so much. And thank you guys very much for being on with us today. Let us know how we can serve you. We are honored to be your coaches and just work together as women and as a tribe to do our very best. Oh, thank you. To do our very best, just to live great lives, have fun, and just show up. So thanks for showing up for us. We'll always show up for you. And maybe I'll see you in a half an hour for a workout class. It's not too late to sign up.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Patty.